Alright, Shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors goes to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from whom I learned the truth. And much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, as well as those hopeful elect that are out there repenting, Salakia, repenting and listening and obeying Yahweh Bashem Shai, your God. So basically, it's going to be a lesson regarding this whole controversy brought about by Ice Cube tweeting about himself and the rest of his people being the so-called Negroes, being the chosen people of the Most High. Now, pretty much the response that was met by him putting out that information was that it was anti-Semitism and so on and so forth, right? And as you can see here, I got his Twitter feed pulled up, but he's been tweeting a lot, and I can't seem to find the tweets where he said these things. 'Cause this was like going back a couple of days ago. But on his newest stuff that I seen, he posted some goddamn Egyptian bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit. How we look before European influence, which is some Hamitic shit. He posted this Nile Valley photos from Kemet, which these people of Kemet were ancient Hamites. You can't say you're the chosen people in one breath and then give honor to Hamitic cultures, because Hamites are just as much evil, where they're a tier of evil below the so-called white man, and they're not the chosen people. Okay, so but the point is that I want to focus in on is that Ice Cube cannot be anti-Semitic because he's a Semite. So how can Ice Cube be an anti-Semite when he is a Semite? Makes no sense. Because anti-Semitic is just a term coined within the last century by the Anti-Defamation League and the defenders of Zionism and of the Israeli state, to where anyone who speaks against them would be declared an anti-Semite and would pretty much be ostracized from out of society and be blackballed and blacklisted. Just like they did with Henry Ford, just like they did with numerous amount of celebrities and people that had status that spoke against the Jews. They call them anti-Semitic. You know, and this ain't the first time Ice Cube was called anti-Semitic, because he did a diss back in, I think it was like the early 90s, against NWA, and he mentioned Jerry Heller, and he was calling him a Jew and so forth, and they said he was being anti-Semitic. Which, like I said, that's just a bunch of bullshit, because if you talk against the so-called Jew, guess what? You can't be anti-Semitic unless you're not a Semite. See what I'm saying? Because there are several families of Sem, because the term anti-Semitic goes back to meaning against the Semitic races. There's not just one Semitic race. There's many, okay? Because Sem, the part that you hear in that word Sem, goes back to Sham in Hebrew, which was a son of Noah, from whom descended Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But also from him also came many other nations, such as Esau, such as Ishmael, such as Moab, such as the Midianites, you know, the Elamites, the Assyrians. They all come from Sem as well. So when you say anti-Semitic, you got to apply it to those branches as well. And it also applies to you so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Okay, so I'm going to prove that in Genesis 10 and 21. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, even Slakia, the brother of Japhet the elder, even to him were children born, the children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. Okay, and Elam will be the so-called East Indians as well as the Persians. Ashur would be the children of Assyria. Arphaxad was the line from which the Israelites descended. The Israelites, the Edomites, came from. Lud. Let's look up Lud, because I believe it's Lawad or Lad, the name of two different nations, Lydia. So you go. And Aram. And the Aram, the children of Aram, are the Syrians, not us Syrians, but the Syrians, the people that live northeast of Israel. It says, and the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash, and Arphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almadad, and Shalef, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obo, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And in their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem after their families, after their tongues, and their lands after their nations. See? So Shem, the point is that Shem begat nations. From him came nations. And you read on later down the narrative, you get of the descendants of Eber, you come finally to Abraham, then Isaac and Jacob, and also Esau and Ishmael, which was Ishmael was a son of Abraham. So these are all what you may call Semitic peoples. But the so-called Jew today only applies it to himself because you know why? It's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism as to paint a picture of him being the only Semite and therefore being the Jew. But he's not a Jew. He's a fake Jew. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And the hidden things of Esau are sought out because if you go with the narrative of the scriptures and you understand the scriptures, Esau's madness gets revealed. So the simple fact that him not being a Shemite is revealed because he's a liar. He's the devil. The scriptures condemn this devil. So this is Psalm 58 verse 3. It says the wicked, and who's the wicked? Is Esau. Esau is the wicked because they are morally crooked. It says from the womb they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So as these devils, their earth's mission, by the time they're adults, they're fully speaking lies. And these Edomites have been speaking lies for hundreds of years. So to the point where you have the conceived lies of their forefathers, they believe this shit down to this very day. You got a lot of so-called Jews that actually believe that they're the people of the Most High. Now, when you get into a lot of the upper tier and educated Jewish folks and Bible scholars, they know that they're not the real people of the Most High. But nonetheless, if you're ignorant to the fact or not, and you say such things, you're still speaking a lie. Okay? It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth the ear. Because why? They can't understand truth. Neither will they accept truth, or neither will they speak truth. Because it says their poison is like the poison of the serpent. That's the things which they speak. So they go on these rants about anti-Semitism, and it's all to defend themselves. You see, because if you're really a quote-unquote Jew, right, it's to be expected of other nations to speak bad about you. You see what I'm saying? I don't blow my mind anytime I hear of an Edomite saying the word nigga. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you're a racist. Hey, these Edomites are racist. You know what? The curses portrayed that these Edomites and the other nations would hate the Israelites and will become a proverb to them. So why is there such thing as an anti-defamation league? Why does the so-called Jew feel a need to defend himself whenever he's brought up about these different facts? Because he's not really a Jew. He's defending his lies. He's an Edomite. It says, break their teeth, O Most High, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. So these young lions represent these different figureheads throughout Esau's history that have been pushing these lies. They call us black, but yet they're white. These are lies, but Yahweh Shemel Shai is breaking their teeth with the truth because they no longer will have this power to tell these lies anymore. And in a more broad sense, they won't have the power and their military might to enforce these laws and enforce these lies. It says, let them melt as waters run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. As a snail which melted, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see sun. See? So these Edomites, they're going to get judged. And furthermore, I'm going to read a couple more scriptures that outline the physical appearance of the so-called Jew. Because remember, this goes back to Ice Cube saying that the so-called Negroes in America are the chosen people, which they are, as well as the Native Americans and the Hispanics are of the chosen seed. So the reason why you had the response of them calling him out for being anti-Semitic is because this exposes the lies of Esau. Because see, if he was confident in his heritage, it wouldn't be an offense to you for someone else to bring up of them being of the same lineage. And you would accept so-called Negroes with open arms if you were really our brothers, but you don't, because you know us being the real Israelites for damn sure means that you're not. Okay? Because this is Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. See? So Solomon described himself as being black. In other words, a dark skin. Because no one on this earth has the color of black sunglasses, right? Black is just another way of saying dark skinned. This is Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. So, another physical description of the Israelites. Job himself called himself black while he was in the sun. So, in other words, he turned darker in the sun. He turned of a dark hue. And you Edomites, you don't turn dark in the sun. You turn red. You look like lobsters. So how can you be of the lineage of Job or King Solomon or the Jews when the Jews were dark-skinned? Can't be. You're not. And I'm going to get this precept. I'm going to read this again. Obadiah, I'm going to close out on this. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So his hidden things represents all these lies, okay, and of a truth, the truth that he's been hiding, which is the fact that he's an Edomite. He doesn't want to reveal that. He doesn't want to reveal how his ancestors and forefathers got into the land of Israel by a Balfour declaration instead of the hand of his God, who he claims to believe in. And furthermore, the so-called Israeli state, you Jews out there, you don't even believe in the Most High. Majority of you are atheists. So how can you really be the people of the Lord? You're not. You're a bunch of hypocrites, and you about to go into slavery. Okay. So all praise goes to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.